Hello and welcome, folks. We're going to give it just a couple of minutes before we get started, just so folks have time to join. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll get started real soon. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm going to give it just about one more minute and allow a few more people to join the session before we get started. But thank you for joining us today. Okay, and let's get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Vanessa. I'm going to be the facilitator for your session today. Thank you for joining us for Minnesota Association for College Admission Counseling's virtual college fair. We have an excellent lineup of colleges and universities here to share more about opportunities at their institutions. A few housekeeping things before we get started. Your camera and microphone are off. You're muted, your video's off. So our panelists, they can't see or hear you today, but that's okay because they do want to hear from you. So you might be asking, how do I ask questions? Well, you have this really cool Q&A button on the little toolbar at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to submit any and every question to the Q&A. Our admissions reps definitely want to hear from you. They want to hear all your great questions. They're here to respond to them. So definitely chat some questions to us today. Don't forget to sign up for more sessions. I know that there's at least one more session after this. So definitely look at the schedule, see what else is available, and sign up for more sessions. This session is being recorded, and the recording will be available at strivescan.com/Minnesota. So thank you so much for joining us. We have an excellent lineup. I can't wait to hear from these schools. I think it's going to be so helpful in your college search. And without further ado, I want to introduce our first school, which is University of St. Thomas.
All right, well, thank you so much. My name is Thomas. I am an admissions counselor at the University of St. Thomas. And I think we got about 6 minutes today just to go over a very brief overview of St. Thomas. And I'm also happy to answer any other questions in the chat or Q&A after. But a little bit about St. Thomas. We are a private institution, and we're located in primarily St. Paul in Minnesota. So we have a couple different locations. Our undergraduate campus is located in St. Paul, but we also have a 2-year Associate of Arts program in downtown Minneapolis, grad school in Minneapolis, and then a campus in Rome, primarily used for study abroad. When I think about St. Thomas, I think one of the highlights is definitely our location. Being in the Twin Cities is a top 15 metro area in the country. So I think from a student's perspective, there's so many fun things to do. There's all the restaurants, the shopping, the art, music. And I think as a college student, what more do you want? Like there's no reason to ever be bored. There's always fun things going on. But you can see on the left part of our screen, we're also in a really residential part of the cities. So you still have access to everything, but it's still a little bit more laid back, a little bit more relaxed. It doesn't feel super busy and urban like certain parts of the city can be. Also, in terms of our campus size, we are the largest private school in Minnesota. We have about 10,000 total students, and the breakdown is about a little over 6,000 undergrad and 4,000 grad. So we're very much a mid-sized school where we're somewhere in between, where we're not really, really big, but not really, really small either. And that's definitely felt, through all different areas of campus. As far as academics, first and foremost, I think one of the highlights of St. Thomas is just the personalization that you get inside the classes from primarily your professors. The average class size at St. Thomas is about 21, and most classes are capped at 30. So for a lot of students, it very much is similar to what you've been experiencing so far in high school. Now, obviously, the classes are a lot harder and it is a lot more challenging. There's a lot more work outside of the classroom. But as far as the in-class experience, there's a lot of group projects, a lot of um, group discussions. It's not just you sitting and listening to lecture all day, every day, as fun as that is. You'll see on the left side, and I know a lot of you are juniors and seniors and you're just starting your college search. I know it can be really intimidating and at times overwhelming to figure out exactly what you want to major in. And at St. Thomas, we have about 100 majors and a little over 50 minors to choose from. So there are a pretty comprehensive list of different programs for us to offer. But the good news is at St. Thomas, you have until the end of your sophomore year to officially declare what you want to major in. So you have quite a bit of time from once you start. You'll see on the top right, our largest majors in terms of size. I know that's a question students always want to know. First of all, our largest program is business, and that makes sense. We're in the Twin Cities. There's 18 Fortune 500 companies in Minnesota, so it makes sense. Anything in the health sciences is our second largest, and a lot of students want to go on to med school or some other form of grad school. You'll see at the bottom also, we do have we're under the final stages of approval for a nursing program for this upcoming fall. So I know a lot of students are really excited about that. But then rounding out the top five, we have communications, engineering, and psychology. But again, the good news is you do have quite a bit of time once you start St. Thomas to explore and figure out exactly what you want to do. Lastly, as far as the admissions timeline, I know as you're just starting to go out your college search, our application timelines are pretty simple. We're under the early action and regular decision timeline. So that really just means when you apply and get admitted, May 1st is that national college decision deadline date. And really the only difference between the two is early action. You can see if you apply a little bit sooner by November 1st, you find out your decision and scholarship information by December 15th, as opposed to mid-February. We accept the common application. We have our own St. Thomas application. Either one is fine. And then as far as the application materials, it's just your application and your transcript. We are test optional. So if you submit or not submit a test score, that's either way is totally fine. And then we do recommend submitting those other supplemental pieces like letters of recommendation and an essay as well. And then the last thing, I know, we're all spread out around the country, all these schools presenting today, but I do encourage you, if St. Thomas is interested, to come back and visit. We do offer in-person visit options where you can meet someone like myself from admissions, you can meet with professors, you can take a tour of campus. Otherwise, there's a lot of virtual programs as well to get a good preliminary overview that we can go a little bit more in depth than what this is. So I'll be around for the next half hour or so, but enjoy the rest of the schools that are presenting today.
Excellent. Look at that time efficiency, St. Thomas. Thank you so much. And students, feel free to use the Q&A feature to type your questions. Thank you for kicking us off, University of St. Thomas. And now we're actually going to go to St. Louis with St. Louis University.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. On behalf of St. Louis University, my name is Lainey Arnold. I use she, her pronouns, and I am one of the admission counselors at SLU. I have the privilege of working with all of the students from the fine states of Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and Nebraska. So I get to work with you throughout your college search process. So to just give some fast facts, St. Louis University is a medium-sized Catholic Jesuit institution with about 8,000 undergraduate students. We were recently ranked by the Wall Street Journal as the 6th best Catholic college in the United States. So that was something very exciting. We do have 2 campuses. Our main campus, I think, is quite obviously in St. Louis, Missouri. So not too far from Minnesota. And our second campus is in Madrid, Spain. We like to call it SLU Madrid. We are the 2nd oldest Jesuit institution, founded back in the 1800s. And while we are technically in a metropolitan area, we are in the heart of Midtown St. Louis. We definitely have a traditional campus feel. As you can see, campus behind me is beautiful. So maybe you should come visit. To talk a little bit about SLU, we can't talk about SLU without talking about our identity as a Jesuit institution. Some of you might be very familiar with Jesuit education, and this might be the first time that you're hearing about it at all. The Jesuits are the largest order of Catholic priests. What it means to be a Jesuit institution has to do with our philosophy of education, how we really strive to educate the whole person. This concept of cura personalis, care for the whole person. We try to meet all of our students where they are academically, spiritually, socially, and help them grow into the best version of themselves. We believe in striving for academic excellence, and we believe in social justice and social change, being people that are for and with others. And again, while we are a Catholic institution, not every student at SLU is Catholic. We are home to all faiths and non-faiths. What's important is that this is a place where you can explore, and we're really striving to live for something bigger than ourselves. Academically, we offer nearly 90 undergraduate programs, and all of our programs are direct entry. Some of our most popular areas of study are within the health sciences, so occupational therapy, physical therapy, nursing, health sciences, biology, chemistry, within the engineering realm, so biomedical engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and then within the business realm. So if those are areas that are exciting to you, then you should definitely check out SLU. We also make sure that we're providing a lot of hands-on learning experiences for our students. We know that you doing an internship with Boeing or with Edward Jones, or your clinical rotations for nursing, when you're trying on what you're learning in the classroom, that is when you're going to start figuring out and discerning for yourself, is this how I feel like I'm best using my gifts for others? So we really prioritize that. And St. Louis is an incredible city to be doing that in. And we have 9 Fortune 500 companies. We're known as a top city for startups. There is a ton to do to practice your work outside of the classroom and to also just enjoy the amenities of the city. And kind of speaking to that, when students ask what they should get involved in, we truly have a little bit of everything. We have 18 Division I sports, approximately 30 club sports, 50 intramural sports, a lot of different campus organizations, including fraternities, sororities, social experiences, service-based organizations, like you name an opportunity to just have fun and you will find it. One of my favorite clubs at SLU is called the Slunatics. They are featured there. They're all in blue, and they are our kind of very hype fan club. They show up at all of the events, and sometimes they'll paint themselves blue, which I think is so fun. And then, like I said, a lot of our students will study abroad at SLU Madrid, but we also have 45 different locations across the world that we encourage students to go study abroad. About 80% of our students take advantage of that, and we try to make it as seamless as possible because we really value that global experience. When it comes to the application, it's pretty simple. You need to apply. It's completely free. You can do it straight on our website or using the Common App. I highly recommend the Common App. We will get your official transcript from your high school. If you're an international student, we require you to demonstrate English proficiency. More on that is on our website. Things under number 4 are things that we recommend but are not required. So 2 letters of recommendation, a resume, an admission interview. It's just time for you and I to sit down and get to know each other and add a little life to your application. And then test scores are optional. If you love your score, send it. Awesome. If you don't have a test score or you have a score that you don't feel is reflective of your work as a student, you do not need to send it. And we will exclusively look at your transcript and your GPA. And then lastly, when you apply, you will choose a different path for your application: early decision, early action, and regular decision. Again, there's more on this on our website, but I direct most students that I talk to towards the early action pathway because it is not binding. And like my friend at St. Thomas said earlier, it gets the process started earlier so that you hear back earlier. So early action, I think, is kind of the way to go. I will leave all of my contact info in the chat. So feel free to reach out to me. I would love to partner with you throughout your college search. And thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, St. Louis University. I have heard a few schools advocate for early decision or early action. And one of the justifications I've heard was also just being able to enjoy the winter break and be able to take some downtime. So I know that might be a benefit to some of you who are looking to apply to schools this fall. All right. Moving over to Colorado, we have Colorado Mesa University. We're traveling all over the country today.
All right, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. I'm actually from Wisconsin myself, so born and raised in the Midwest. I moved over here somewhat recently, or moved back here, but I went to school here as well. So Colorado Mesa University, this picture of campus, some little mountains in the back. We live in the high desert of Grand Junction, Colorado. So pretty dry, pretty warm, 300 days of sunshine. And you can pop up 40 minutes into the mountain and get up to the snow and go skiing and stuff too. All right, so there's a lot of different paths you can take here at CMU. These are just some of our people who went on to do particularly big things. So we did have an engineer for NASA come from us, and then Grammy Award-winning artist and entrepreneur, and then a student who's going on to be a dentist. So we have about 11,000 students here that go to CMU. So it's definitely a medium-sized field. We have 33 different countries who are represented here, and then 49 of the 50 states do attend CMU as well. So I'm really curious to know who that one is. But we do have 118 majors, and we have programs from a certificate level all the way to a doctoral level. So a lot of different options. We also partner with the community college in town. So that's a really great option too. Yeah. So one of my favorite things too was we have 0 teacher assistants. Our classes were around 90%. About 90% have less than 40 students, and the faculty to student ratio is 1:19. So you really do get a lot of personalized attention and support. There's people, or our teachers are often the academic advisors too, so they kind of stick with you from the beginning all the way through the end, teach you some classes, some of your bigger ones, capstones. So they're really invested in you and are really interested and care in what you do throughout your college career. So then of the 118 majors, there's 76 areas of concentration and 51 minors. The biggest ones we have are the best we have business, nursing, biology, and kinesiology, as well as criminal justice. And those are just some of our top majors. But you see here, we have a lot of other options too. So another thing that was great was that we often had a lot of applied learning. So with the undergraduate research, clinicals, internships, conferences, we did a lot of projects in the class that even benefited the community. So it was cool to feel like you were really doing something hands-on and learning throughout the course of college. Grand Junction has 300 days of sunshine. We're about 40 minutes to the nearest ski resort, a little over 1,000 miles of hiking trails just in our area. And the outdoor program was one of my favorite pieces of Colorado Mesa University. We went on trips almost every single weekend we could, but they do offer trips every single weekend. They go to surrounding areas in Colorado, ice climbing, mountain biking, mountain climbing, skiing, hiking. They do some trips throughout the week too. They bring all the gear and everything like that. Okay. And then some other things that we have to say is we have 13 residence halls on campus. So of our 11,000 students, a little under 3,000 live on campus. They're all fairly new buildings. We have just under 200 clubs now. So they're anywhere from your sports to politics to reading, video games, or you can even do like you can even do yeah, all kinds of different things. There's about 2,000 student ran events as well. And then 52 countries are involved in our study abroad program. So you go to class for the same price out there. We are a D2 school, so there's 28 D2 sports, 20 club sports, and 15 intramural sports. So depending on your competitive level, we have something for you. It's a very good time. And then we have a lot of resources on campus. So we have the faculty advising, peer tutoring, the career services is great, and student wellness center as well. Last page I'll mention is just our rates. And what you would be looking at is the mountains and plains reduced out of state rate. So you would not be paying out of state for CMU. This is the pre-financial aid cost. Thank you so much for your time. I will leave you with my contact information. I'd be happy to hear from you. So feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we're going to move into University of San Diego.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here and tuning in. We'll jump right into it. We are the University of San Diego. We are a contemporary Catholic institution located here in the beautiful city of San Diego. We were founded in 1949 by the Sisters of the Sacred Heart and the Diocese of San Diego. Now, because of this unique co-founding between the two organizations, we're not actually governed by any religious order, such as the Franciscans or the Jesuits, but instead are guided by our mission and values, specifically Catholic intellectual tradition, meaning we believe in educating the whole individual, mind, body, spirit, social, emotional wellness, and ensuring that students can really dive into academic conversations where faith and reason can coexist in the classroom setting. And our Catholic social teaching, the belief that everyone should be welcomed with open arms, regardless of their background, their identity, their experience. So really ensuring that we're building a just and equitable society on our campus. There is a quote at the bottom of the screen from Mother Rosalie Clifton Hill, one of our co-founders. She believed that there were three pieces essential to higher education: beauty, truth, and goodness. She said, if we built a beautiful place, people would want to come here. Once they were here, they'd find the goodness in our community. And through that goodness, they'd be inspired to seek the truth. And then when they left our campus, they'd share that beauty, truth, and goodness with the world. So it is nice to be recognized, as one of the most beautiful campuses in the nation. As far as our student demographic, we have about 5,500 undergraduate students. Sorry, my dog is very vocal right now. About half of them are coming from beyond California, representing 47 home states. We have about 7% international population, and jumping down, about 41% of our students identify as students of color. And lastly, about 40% of our students identify as Catholic. This is probably one of the most popular questions I get. Do I have to be Catholic to attend USD? And the answer is absolutely not. We want that diversity of faith, diversity of experience, because it's that diversity that allows our students to really engage in meaningful conversations in the classroom and learn from each other's perspectives. We have a variety of majors, minors, and concentrations for students to explore. In total, including minors, it's about 100 different opportunities. We are rooted in the liberal arts tradition, meaning you'll take classes in the arts and the history and science and math and ethics and philosophy and religion. This is actually the only place we have a religion requirement for our students, is that every student complete 2 theology courses in their time at USD. While we're talking about personalized learning, I think it's important to note class sizes at USD on average are about 21 students. The largest class size you'll have is 46. So really ensuring that small classroom environment. 97% of our faculty have PhDs or terminal degrees in their field. So we want you to have that time to learn from them, their experience, and really gain benefit from their mentorship. We have a vibrant Torero life on our campus. So student life, we are the Toreros. You'll see Diego Torero in the center of the screen. So definitely very pride-filled here. We also have a variety of clubs and organizations, over 180 to choose from. These range from social, special interests, philanthropic, honors, pre-professional, really you name it, we probably have it. There's a full list on our website if you're looking for something in particular. We're Division I in our varsity athletics, and we also offer club and intramural sports for those looking to continue a sport they love, but maybe not at that varsity level. We do have sororities, fraternities on our campus as well. About 27% of our students participate in those programs. Important to note, we don't have a fall recruitment, so really ensuring students have time to find their footing and find their place here at USD before adding that recruitment piece to their plate. We are a Changemaker campus, one of 42 in the world. This goes back to our commitment to the 5 hash marks you see on the screen: social justice, social innovation, entrepreneurship, and sustainability, and global perspective. So our students are passionate about thinking about the world around them, engaging with the world, making the world and their community a better place. So this is something we do look for in the application process. I'll chat a little bit more in a moment, but essentially we want to see how you engage, how you show up, and how you represent yourself. This is also a great opportunity to talk about global experiences, building that global appreciation, global perspective. About 80% of our students study abroad at least once in their time at USD. We have a variety of programs for students to choose from. And if it's something you want to do, even if you're studying business or engineering, you're able to take that time away from campus, ensuring that all of your classes transfer back to USD. We do have a couple of keynote programs, including our double degree program with our business school. So you're in 2 degrees for the time and price of 1, and our Madrid Center, if you're looking to stay a little more in line with the USD experience and the value-based learning. It's a great option for students. So details, how do you become a Torero? We do accept the common application. That's actually the one and only way to apply to USD. We do have member questions. These are specific to USD, where we're going to ask you a little bit about why you want to come to USD. We also review the personal essay included in the common app, all of your transcripts, grades 9 through 12. We're going to require 1 academic letter of recommendation, but we can accept up to 3. And if you want to diversify those, maybe you have a coach or a mentor who wants to recommend you, we accept those and welcome those as well. We do have international minimums, or I'm sorry, English proficiency minimums for international applicants, and an application fee of $55. The application deadline is December 15th, and we are a test-free institution. So no need to submit standardized test scores here at USD. If you want to connect with our students, I recommend taking a quick screenshot or picture of that QR code. This is a great network to connect directly with the current students of USD and learn more about their experience. And I'll drop my information in the chat. So thank you so much. And I'll stop sharing my screen.
Thank you, University of San Diego. And last but not least, University of Wyoming.
All righty. Well, good afternoon, folks. My name is Cade Russo. I am the admissions representative for the great state of Minnesota, and we're going to be speaking today about why the world needs more cowboys. So the University of Wyoming is located in Laramie, Wyoming, about 2 hours north of Denver, Colorado, in southeastern Wyoming, kind of to give you a little bit more perspective of where we are located. Laramie is a town of about 30,000 individuals, really in the heart of the Rocky Mountain West. Laramie's been ranked the #1 small college town in the entire nation, and for a lot of different good reasons. Really, it's all about the pride and passion that individuals have within this institution. We are the only 4-year in the state of Wyoming, right? And so you have all the resources underneath one roof that you could ever want and need. A little bit more about the University of Wyoming. We've got about 11,829 students. About 10,000 is going to be your undergraduate student population. 14-to-1 is our student faculty ratio. So we really do pride ourselves on providing that interpersonal connection within the classroom. 90% of our classes are going to be taught by professors, as well as our average class size is going to be 30 students. So we are proud of those numbers. Something that I personally am proud about as a graduate of the University of Wyoming is that nearly 80% of our students last year, folks, had a job or were in grad school 6 months after graduation. And that's last year during the middle of a pandemic. So employers certainly love our students. Looking at our student body, our students are quite literally from all around the world. 50 states and more than 90 different countries are represented within our student population. Currently, though, it is broken down into right around 57% in-state students versus 43% out-of-state students. And then 95% of our student body receives some sort of scholarships or financial aid. That total comes out to about an average of about $13,000. The close-knit community of Laramie certainly is a huge part of the college process and college search, and really is one of those top reasons I think students consider the University of Wyoming. We really strive to provide a real, authentic, genuine experience to all of our students, whether it be you're looking at admissions to graduation. The community of Laramie really is extremely supportive. We've got this saying, once you're a cowboy, you're always going to be a cowboy, and you're always going to carry the University of Wyoming wherever you go. Along with that is going to be our strong alumni network. So we have over 140,000 alumni members that are there to really get you internships and job opportunities and give back to the University of Wyoming to really help you achieve your goals and your dreams. That's what we're all about. Looking at Laramie, Laramie certainly is an outdoor paradise. So we are 20 minutes away from top tier climbing opportunities, both east and west of us. 2.9 million acres of national forest surround Laramie. 30 minutes away from affordable skiing and snow sports. Affordable and skiing don't really go in the same word too often. And then 15 minutes away from 100 plus miles of climbing, hiking, and bike trails. And then probably about a half an hour away from about 250 more. Looking at the pride and passion individuals have in the University of Wyoming, a lot of that goes into our Division I athletics. The Cowboys compete and Cowgirls compete in the Mountain West. Our football team right now is 4-0, something that, as you can see in my background, we're quite passionate about. We've got 20 plus club sports, 50 plus intramural sports, as well as a vibrant Greek system for you to be a part of. Fine arts are a huge thing at the University of Wyoming as well. And you certainly do not need to be a music major to be in one of our ensembles or a theater major to be in one of our productions. So that's a huge advantage as well. Over 300 plus clubs and organizations represent our students' interests and really are there to get you involved in campus life and really give you the opportunity to meet individuals from all over the world. Student government is a huge deal as well. And then really that love and loyalty. Being that we are the only 4-year in the state of Wyoming, you could go to any corner and people are going to have pride and passion behind this fine institution. When it comes down to majors, we are a land grant and research institution here at the University of Wyoming. So we have over 200 different areas of study for you to choose from. Everything from counting all the way down to zoology. Double major, minor options are out there, as well as a very awesome honors college experience that isn't so much about the rigor when it comes down to honors, but more about how can we create really critical thinkers and solve the world's issues from that side of things. So certainly would like to really have you explore your college. All of our programs are absolutely fantastic. We are very well known for engineering, anything STEM related, health sciences, as well as business. Those are kind of some of our more popular majors and options. The University of Wyoming is also known for studying abroad. We have got the largest public endowment of any 4-year institution in the entire nation. That's pretty awesome, right? And what that means is we're going to give you the most amount of scholarship money, and we have the most amount of scholarship money available to give to you to really make studying abroad financially affordable. We've got 400 different sites worldwide in 80 different countries, so really would encourage you to look into studying abroad. So to apply to the University of Wyoming, it's going to take 3 very easy steps. We operate on rolling admissions. So once you complete that application to the University of Wyoming, we will get back to you within about 10 to 12 business days with a decision. So apply to the University of Wyoming through the common application or through our website, $40 application fee, and then submit required documents. If you have any questions about admissions requirements, please do check those out on the website. Pretty straightforward stuff, but no essays, no letters of recommendation, no resumes, none of that kind of stuff. As long as you meet the requirements, you are good to go. We are also test optional for fall of 2022. So feel free to send in your scores. If you don't want to, no problems. We also have support, so check that out if your GPA is underneath a 3.0. Transfer admission, pretty straightforward, and then additional documentation. Check out all that information, folks, on our website should you have any questions about that. But it is a very, very seamless process, pretty dang straightforward. Scholarships for out-of-state students, you guys are going to be looking at the Child of Alumni Benefit if one of your parents went to the University of Wyoming, and then the Brown and Gold Commitment, the way that we handle that. High school unweighted GPA, ACT, SAT score, you get to see that from the very beginning, what your scholarships look like. We'd love to have you folks visit us here at the University of Wyoming. Please do let me know if there's anything I can do to help you out in your college search process. Go Pokes, the world needs more Cowboys. Thank you much.
Thank you so much for that, University of Wyoming. I'd love to invite all the schools back on camera. And I have just a few questions that I'd love to do a round robin and get your thoughts on. Um, so I think we're waiting for a few more schools. Okay, awesome. All right. So we'll go in school order, the same presentation order that you've spoken. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? So we have a lot of students here today who are about to embark on this process or are already in the middle of it. What advice would you give them? And we'll start with University of St. Thomas.
Yeah, I would say as a student just starting out your college search, just tour a lot of different schools. I know when I started my college search back when I was in high school, I always thought I'd tour a lot of different schools, and then after that, there'd be one best school. And I think you quickly realize you can get a great education at so many different places. And when you tour a lot of different types of schools, you kind of figure out what's going to motivate you. Like whether it's a great academic program, size, location in a specific city. And I think as long as you're motivated and whatever it takes for you to want to succeed at a school, like that's going to set you up for the most success. And you can find that by a lot of times by just looking at a lot of different types of schools.
One of the tips that I always share is to utilize technology to your advantage. You all are so lucky right now to be able to connect with all of us virtually and to have so many different ways to gather a ton of information. So I know I joke all the time about how one of my favorite activities is Sloogling. It's like Googling, but it's just looking things up on the SLU website because there's a ton of information there. And then there's more information on our Instagram and on our TikTok, and all of these schools have these platforms. So just start diving around, figure out what that school values and if it really resonates with you, because what we are putting out there is what we're trying to attract. And so, yeah, just don't be afraid to do some Googling, look on our websites, and get connected with us virtually.
Yeah, and then I would say too, I would maybe make a list of like your top 3 priorities of like what you would need to feel engaged and successful in your studies. So finding what matters to you and making sure the school has what you're looking for, and then making sure that place is I mean, wherever you're gonna go, it's gonna be uncomfortable, but where are you gonna feel most comfortable being uncomfortable in a new experience?
Great advice all around. I would recommend enjoying the process. I think sometimes we can get a little bogged down or overwhelmed by various deadlines or all the research that there is to be done. But this is a really exciting time. It's your senior year. It's the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one. So I encourage you to just take a deep breath and enjoy the process.
I would say be true to yourself. Remember that it is your college search, right? It's not your older sisters. It's not your parents. It's not your friends. It's yours. And so really be true to yourself and really take all the advice as to one, all in one, right? Stay true to yourself, but also remember to make your priorities count most.
Excellent advice. Thank you so much for sharing. And I have one more question. I'd love to hear from all the schools. What's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
Yeah, I would say, one thing to remember about us at St. Thomas is just that we are very much like a mid-sized school. And I think our size is definitely unique for a private school where we're on the larger end, but we're still, again, very much mid-sized where it's not really huge and not really tiny. So you get a little bit of aspects of both larger and smaller private institutions too.
Okay, I didn't share this about SLU earlier, but it is one of my favorite things to talk about. So I don't know how I neglected to share. If you're not familiar, our mascot is called the Billiken. It's this mythical creature. It looks kind of like a gargoyle meets a goat. Very strange. But what I love about this and why I think I want you to remember it is because the Billiken represents good luck and the way things ought to be. So I think it's a really awesome thing to kind of keep in your back pocket as a litmus test as you're looking at institutions. Find yourself that place that you are going to feel comfortable enough, again, to be challenged and make the world the way it ought to be. So it's just this little mythical creature that I think has a lot of meaning. So remember that SLU is home of the Billiken.
Yeah, I think what I experienced when I went here was that all of the faculty and staff really feels like they care a lot about you. They go above and beyond, whether it's student services, whether it's if you need like an accommodation, kind of across the board, whatever service that you need, they're really invested. And I think that was one of the highlights of my college career.
I think one of the things that I love most about USD and I would want folks to remember is the change-making identity. This is something that our students and our faculty and the university as a whole is passionate about, and ensuring you have the support and the funding to, make your project or your idea stand out however you choose to impact the world around you. So just making sure that you have the support to be that positive change in the world.
I would say the unbeatable opportunity and really return on investment, right? Like, what are you getting experience-wise, but also what are you getting when it comes down to getting connected to jobs and internships, right? I truly think that UW does a really great job about not only providing their students a world-class educational experience, but allowing them to go after and really achieve their best goals and dreams.
Wonderful. And thank you, all of the wonderful admissions reps that we have here today, for sharing so much great advice, for telling us about your schools, and for just your willingness to connect with the students today. Students, please reach out to these folks. These are going to be excellent points of reference for you to get to know more about their institution. And I'm sure they're willing to help you along the way, no matter what. So thank you everyone for joining us this evening. There is going to be a quick survey after you close this window, just 5 questions. We'd love for you to complete that short survey. We have one more session tonight, so feel free to look at the schedule and see what you'd like to sign up for. And just a reminder that this recording will be available at strivescan.com/Minnesota. So thanks again, and everyone have a really wonderful evening. Good night, everyone.